Bill and Ted.
Things that you did not know about Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Or maybe we'll see if Frank already knew all of this stuff.
Be good. You wouldn't know.
Well, it was released on February 17th, 1989. It had a budget of $10 million, made $40.5 million at the box office. Bill and Ted were originally surfer dudes, not time travelers.
Mm-hmm.
The original concept for Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure didn't involve time travel. Writers Chris Matheson and Ed Solomon initially imagined Bill and Ted as a couple of stoner-like dudes who accidentally messed up history by giving bad history reports. The time travel element was added later to make their adventure more engaging and structured. Do you remember what the original time machine was supposed to be?
I've heard it before, but it's slipping my mind right now.
It was supposed to be a van.
See, I was going to go with like a station wagon. I don't know why I was thinking station wagon.
Early drafts featured a 1969 Chevy van as the time machine instead of a phone booth. The change was made to avoid similarities to Back to the Future, where a DeLorean was used for time travel. Now, the phone booth ended up... What's that?
I was going to say, if they were stoners and they were in the van, they definitely would have possibly been, traveling in time and not being aware of it because they would have been...
Yes. Now, the phone booth ended up working perfectly for the film's comedic tone, even though it later drew unintentional comparisons to Doctor Who.
Right.
But I thought, with that, you can see back here how they're all crammed in the phone booth.
Yeah.
I mean, that was pretty on point.
That's Beethoven.
Beethoven, yeah. Keanu Reeves and Alex Winter auditioned for each other's roles.
Yeah, I was going to say something about that, but I didn't want to jump ahead on you.
During casting, Keanu Reeves and Alex Winter auditioned for both parts because producers weren't sure which actor fit which role better. After testing, they settled on Reeves as Ted and Winter as Bill, and their natural chemistry made the duo iconic. To this day, both actors say they feel like equal halves of their characters.
Have you seen, now all this stuff gets out, but have you seen the audition tapes for Bill and Ted?
I don't think so.
Pauly Shore tried out for Bill and Ted, and there's an audition tape with him trying out for Bill, and it's basically just Pauly Shore being
Pauly Shore.
Pauly Shore.
He was the weasel, bud.
And it's like he was like, I think he even talked about it, saying he had they were trying to get stoner guys to play these characters. He's like, well, hey, I'm a stoner dude, and he thought he'd have it wrapped up, and then he was told he wasn't a fit for the role. He's like, wait,
he's like, that's me.
Yeah, but yeah, you can find the different people who auditioned for the same thing with Back to the Future. There's all those the Ben Stillers and the whatnot that did for Back to the Future, but you can find the Bill and Ted audition tapes, and it's crazy the names that actually auditioned for those roles.
I always liked when SNL would do the lost audition tapes for certain things.
For Star Wars?
Yeah, and that's the one that always comes to mind because it was somebody was playing Richard Dreyfuss. I can't remember who it was. And I just remember going, I was in Jaws! He's getting pissed off that they don't know who he is and he was in Jaws. So they should know who
when he playing
I think it was Daryl Hammond, maybe? What's that?
Yeah. It was Daryl Hama, and he was playing. He was supposed to be Richard Dreyfuss trying out for Solo or Obi-Wan Kenobi or something, wasn't it?
Yes. And he's getting super bent out of shape because they don't know who he is.
Right.
Napoleon's waterslide scene was filmed at a real water park.
Oh.
The hilarious scene where Napoleon enjoys a waterslide was filmed at Golfland Sunsplash, a real water park in Mesa, Arizona. The park kept the slide from the movie operational for years. The park kept the slide from the movie operational for years, even renaming it the Waterloo. The actor playing Napoleon, Terry Camilleri, admitted that he had never been on a water slide before and had way too much fun filming the scene.
I just want to say in that scene, see what he's wearing?
Uh-huh.
Do you remember when he got out of the water, what happened to that suit?
It was all stuck on him, wasn't it?
And do you remember he was wearing nothing underneath? What was the production's thought on that, of getting a 40-year-old man in a white suit that's going to get wet around children with nothing on underneath?
It was supposed to be era appropriate.
But I'm
or
just
era
saying,
accurate, I should say.
but What are we doing, man? Like my dude got out of the water and you just saw it all. Just like, let's just say Napoleon wasn't just short in his stance. All right, I mean there were other things that he was short on.
And finally, did you know Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure was almost never released due to bankruptcy? After production wrapped in 1987, the original distributor went bankrupt, leaving the film in limbo. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure sat unreleased for 2 years, and it almost never saw the light of day. Eventually, Orion Pictures picked up the film, releasing it in 1989, where it became a surprise hit and a cult classic.
George Carlin, look at him dyeing the hell out of his hair.
He was great as Rufus, man.
He was.
All right.
Did you ever see the third one? How they paid the homage to him?
No, is it good?
Yeah, I liked the third one. I thought it was pretty good. But there's basically like a statue in when they head to the future, when they travel to the future of Rufus. Yeah, and like both Bill and Ted, thank him for sending them on their ways.